going on, guys? I was considering doing this on Instagram Live and then switching up to Facebook Live, but I'm not sure I want to do that right now. I don't want to distract myself with anyone trying to join in a conversation or, I don't know. I'm nervous about doing that because I don't want to. I put down a lot of things here that I actually like, that I want to talk about, and I don't want it to be a distraction. So I don't know. I may just somehow just start putting it on after that, after I get to my points at least, and what I'm trying to discuss here without going Instagram Live just yet. For those of you that are listening or watching from YouTube, this was pre-recorded, of course, and I'm going to release it afterwards and all that, and see if I can mix no, it's all going to be on here anyway. Anyway, so I wanted to first say that I hope all you guys, all you fuckers, whatever, are doing well in terms of how you're dealing with this. I mean, everyone deals with shit differently, of course. Everyone has a mind of their own. Everyone has their own perspective and experiences. And I don't want to diss that shit. As much as I joke about it on my Dead Pigeon comedy page, whatever, that's a persona, that is a different character, a different side of me that I want to keep separate from this podcast. People usually will identify people as what they are. Like, you have these thoughts and you care about this, but as a person who meditates, as a person who understands consciousness now for the most part, and everything I've been doing, I've been understanding more and more that all these thoughts that I go through in terms of when I get silly or when I poke fun at people or make judgments on things, or when I lose my temper, or when I'm fucking acting in any character that I develop or whatever over time, that I actually start to become that character or whatever. These are all fucking thoughts, man. These all come right from the consciousness, and you're aware of it and blah, blah, blah. And it comes with time, with how you understand it on your own, with your own perspective and experiences. But for me personally, I have learned to detach myself, so to speak, from myself. I understand that I do have a persona or personality or whatever that people may look at it and try to describe me as, but guess what? No one knows me, not even myself for the most part. I mean, there's still so much that I don't know about myself that I'm learning, because I'm growing constantly. I'm always learning more about myself that I did not understand until I experienced different things about it. So again, it's all to the individual, man, and to each your own. When I say this, like, you can't tell me what I'm going through in my mind, because it's my mind. No one has authority over one another with what goes on in our heads, other than psychologists and therapists, whatever. They all have studies, neurosciences, all that. They have ideas based on science and data, what they can prove to you and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm talking about is these thoughts. Where do they come from? We don't fucking know. So let's not pretend that we know what the fuck we're talking about. We can say we do, but, whatever you want to believe, it's up to you. Overall, all these thoughts and beliefs and whatever we choose to do is all a matter of our leaps, a leap of faith. That's what they call it. I forget where I heard it from. Philosophy, of course. But I forget, Stephen West brought it up and someone said it, that we're not really, we don't have any facts. We don't have any truths. We have a bunch of leap of faith things going on. Like, so, while we may prove that, yeah, sure, this is a pen based on our reality here. Of course, we identify this as a pen. I'm holding a pen on my hand for those of you who are listening, but I'm flipping the pen. You can hear it. I can click it. You can tell it's a pen if I was just doing this while I was talking, annoying you, but clearly you can see it's a pen. Clearly you can tell it's a pen because I'm clicking it too. You can tell the point is out. When I unclick it, the point is down. Now I can't write. We all understand the basic fucking truths of reality, right? But I'm talking about the truth of things that we don't fucking know, that we can't prove or we have yet to prove and all that shit. There's a problem with society or us as human beings where we become so tempted with the truth, the facts, what we need to know. We become so infatuated by these things that we attach ourselves to this one thing. This is the fucking truth, and no one else knows what the fuck they're talking about. And then we don't realize that we're taking a leap of faith there, and that's what a leap of faith is, for everything that we talk about. So then the question would be a philosophical one where it's like, okay, then what the fuck are you talking about, William? What do I believe then? And it's like, of course, we believe in the shit. Of course, you're going to believe this is a pen. This is a pen. Yeah, sure, and all that. I'm not talking about that. It's a deeper aspect of what I'm talking about. And no one has to get that deep. No one has to think. No one has to go that far with life and how I look at it, because it's my fucking perspective. It's not your perspective. I'm just sharing my perspective with you, my thoughts, my feelings, or whatever I talk about on the show. It's meant to give you a little piece or a taste from my perspective, so that maybe you can learn from something. You learn something from it, or find something out, figure something out on your own that you never would have picked up on if I would have never mentioned it. Who knows? You know what I mean? So meditation, for example, how I got to this point in general, meditation has been the main thing, the main source that allowed me to dig deeper in my mind, to understand things with clarity, allowed me to push away those thoughts. Not push away forcefully, of course, but, just so I can take a look at what I'm talking about, or what I'm thinking about, or what I'm doing, instead of being so distracted by all these thoughts. And there you go. I'm not gonna go any further than that, I guess, because I want to carry on about what I'm talking about here. So it's funny how I brought all this up. I just got into that whole little rant, whatever, that ramble, because I wrote down where do our thoughts and ideas come from, and I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't circle it, so that meant that I was supposed to just move on and talk about the other things that I want to talk about. So anyway, I guess in order, because I wrote it down out of order, I guess I could talk about my recent experience. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I hope you guys are dealing with this pandemic better than, what you thought you would have, or whatever. I hope things are getting better for you if you're struggling. These are all just thoughts and ideas. I guess that's why I shared all that, is because I wanted to give you a little perspective of, for me, how I'm dealing with it. But we're going to get more into that, because I'm not totally peaceful or at peace still. Like, there's things that I'm noticing about myself that is leading in the other direction. It's like shifting or pulling at me and tugging me on the other side, and it's interesting. But I want to talk about that later on. Right now, I'm going to talk about my recent experience I had. I don't know if the word is reluctant on talking about this, but this is a very private and personal experience. I think I've mentioned this on my other episode. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I have, but I wrote it down, so I don't know. It was with an unknown. I can't explain it. I don't want to get myself into some shit, but all I gotta say is that I had a recent experience with meditation that I've never felt ever in my life. It was scary. It was riveting. It was intriguing. It was interesting, and they're both the same word. It was eye-opening. It was horrifying. It was the most enlightened I've ever felt, the most light I've ever felt, physically and emotionally. I can't explain any more than that, but the basic word is I felt enlightenment. And I thought it was that because I meditated, but I'm not going to go any further than that. I think I did bring this up. I brought this up already. Okay. I'm just going back into my thoughts as I talk about my recent experience. So anyway, my last episode, I remember that. I was going crazy a little bit. And that was because I was passionate and I felt motivated and I was on fire, so to speak. And I came out with that quote that I really love, that I carry with me now. And it's, don't have faith, don't restore your faith in humanity, restore your faith in yourself. And I really mean that. I can bring that back to you guys for you to understand that. Restore faith in yourself, meaning you, instead of like worrying about everyone else, just focus on what you can improve on. Whatever faith you don't have within yourself, the fears, the emotions, the background that you have, the history, whatever, all that shit, all that nonsense that you affiliate yourself with. I don't want to call it nonsense, but all those things, because then I don't want to offend some of you, but I call it nonsense for me, so that's just my English. But my chosen words, I should say, not English. But anyway, I don't want you. Watch my words. Hold on. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. It's just like I was thinking about something and I got too distracted by the way I was talking. So, all right, trying to bring it back to base here, what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking about my recent experience. I was enlightened. And then, okay. I said restore faith in yourself. Yeah, you don't want to focus on other people and then restore faith in humanity restored and all that shit. It's like, what are you doing focusing on other people, man? Like, why are you worrying about what other people are doing? Like, humanity is a balance of evil people and good people. That's what it is. Stop worrying about humanity for the moment and worry about yourself. When you're focused on yourself, you focus on the task at hand, you focus on the things that you want to do, you focus on your own values, your own fulfillment, your own game plans, your own life, your own treasures, everything that you cherish in the moment. You are focusing on yourself and you're restoring faith with your own fucking life and not worrying about everybody else. It's a hard thing to do because we as human beings tend to fucking do that with our unconscious minds, whatever. But when you're consciously aware of things, when you meditate, when you learn how to be more mindful in the moment, you are able to catch yourself in the moment and allow yourself to either proceed with judgment or stop yourself so that you can, guide yourself to do something else that you want to do instead of judging other people and wasting your time, wasting energy, wasting bandwidth in your brain that you could be used for something else that's more valuable in your life. I hope that all makes sense. But yeah, I brought that up because I'm a human being, of course, and I love comedy. I love this. I love what I'm podcasting about. I love when I podcast with my wife, when we shoot the shit and just talk shit and just let loose. That is a different side of me that is not. My wife knows me all around in terms of she knows this current state of mind. She knows that current state of mind. She knows all these different state of minds, these state of beings, these different, you would say, personality or human beings within me, whatever the fuck it is that you want to describe it as, these personalities. Someone would say, you have multiple personality disorder. We're labeling things because it's weird. We're not used to it. We're so comfortable with our own minds, distracting ourselves, thinking that, I'm one mind. And I'm nothing else. Like, this is who I am. I'm putting it on Instagram Live now because I'm like, fuck it. We put ourselves into this state of mind thinking that I only have this one mind. This is who I am as a person. I affiliate myself with this. And this is the line of traits that I am because that's what it says on my zodiac sign. My zodiac says that I said this and I was born on this star and all that. And so we start to, okay, that's what I am then. And I remember when I first got into zodiac signs, I was addicted to it. I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with my personality. Like, why am I so obsessed with my personality? And it's because of all these things out there that tell you, know yourself. Be yourself. All these things that try to pride yourself with sticking to the oneself and you thinking that oneself is you and that's it. So I always confused it because I wanted to laugh. I wanted to play and be silly. I wanted to be retarded, so to speak. I wanted to have fun and whatever. But I wasn't always that way. There was always moments that I was just like, like I would always do stupid shit. And then there are moments where I'm fucking serious, super serious, like just serious as shit. And there's no goofiness involved. There's just like basic me, like boring me, whatever, talking about philosophy and deep thinking and things that I love to talk about in terms of serious conversations that hold value to my heart. But that is not always me either. Like there's a different side of me and different moods, different state of minds. And I've come to realize because of meditation that, oh, okay, that's why I'm all over the fucking place. I'm not, I mean, whatever, I say I'm crazy because that's, fuck it. That's the way society wants to look at it. I'm crazy because you have multiple personalities. Holy shit. But I don't look at it that way now. Now that I joke about it, say I'm fucking insane. But that's me identifying a little trait and putting it there as a joke for myself, because that's what society may look at me as. I'm fucking insane. You're going insane. You think you're serious? You call yourself a philosopher? Oh, now you're silly. You can't take yourself fucking serious. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you want. No, it's not that I don't know what I want. It's I understand that I have all these different state of minds, whatever, and that's what it is. Again, when you meditate, you get to understand yourself way more, that yourself is not even yourself. There's no self. When Sam Harris, I brought this up before, and I didn't really describe it because I didn't know how to explain it, and I kind of still don't. But at that point, when I brought it up before in this podcast, I didn't understand it, and I was like, "What the fuck he mean? What the fuck he means that we don't have a self?" And it took me a while, but because of Sam Harris, he helped me identify my different emotions or whatever, all these different states of mind that I am. When I'm silly as fuck and I'm goofy and I'm throwing myself across the room or dying of laughter, versus this serious guy, versus this angry guy over there, versus the super depressed William over there who's like thinking about a lot of negative shit. Like all these different states of mind, that's all it is. It's just a state of mind, whatever. It's not a character, it's not a trait, it's not a personality, whatever. Whatever science may say, that's what science says. But for me, personally, I understand myself, or the self, more than anything else is trying to tell me about what I am, if that makes any sense. But that's in regards to how I recently felt enlightened, and how I'm trying to explain it, but it's hard for me to explain it, to understand that I have a different state of mind now, of enlightenment, or whatever how you call it. I looked up this definition of what enlightenment is with meditation, and it's supposedly all these different things that you don't feel anything, and it's like, I don't fucking know. I'm just going about learning this experience, going by all my individual experiences, and just going with the flow pretty much of life. So, like today, recently, my daughter, my fucking daughter, 2-year-old daughter, knows how to grab her stool, take the fucking stool to the fucking door over there, the front door, unlock both the fucking top lock and the bottom lock, and walk outside the fucking front door, apparently. Today I learned that. Today I fucking learned that. And I also learned that I could become the most, how can I explain it? My anxiety, whatever, I make fun of that shit. The other side of me makes fun of anxiety because a lot of people claim they have anxiety and all that shit. You know my thoughts on that. But for those listening, the new listeners, my thoughts, to summarize, my thoughts on anxiety is that everyone has anxiety. Everyone deals with it differently, of course. And you just have to learn how to maintain it. You have to learn how to understand it as an emotion, blah, blah, blah. That's my minimal perspective of it. But anyway, the amount of anxiety I had, the amount of fear, the amount of sadness and sorrow, and oh my God, the anger, everything that was fucking me up all at once, was when I walked down the steps earlier this morning, or earlier this afternoon, and I saw the door open because I went upstairs real fast to go wake up my wife or whatever, and we were talking, and I'm hearing my daughter doing stuff down there. I'm always fucking alert with her. And I noticed she was quiet. I'm like, oh, she's probably doing something bad as usual. She usually grabs something and fucks everything up, whatever. But anyway, lo and behold, I come downstairs, and my fucking I'm walking towards the downstairs, and I'm hearing someone bang on the door at the same time. I'm like, holy fuck, what the hell was going on? Who's banging? I thought it was Amazon. So I see my door open, and I said, my heart just fucking I just lost it. Everything just like vanished. No mindfulness, none of that shit. I was scared as fuck. I was angry as fuck. I was disgusted. Blah blah. All these things. As soon as I saw that my daughter was missing and the person was banging, I knew my daughter was out there, and I had no idea because everything was in slow motion. And I said, "Oh my fucking god! Someone took her. Someone hit her with a car. A dog probably attacked her. Someone. Oh my god! My everything just blew up all at once." Uh, So when I went downstairs to open the fucking door, uh, the what do you call it? One of my neighbors had her on her arm, and everything just like, whew. I mean, I was still panicking in my head. I was still fucked up over it, and she gave me, she gave my daughter. Oh my god, like, oh, whatever the fuck she said. I wasn't even focused on what she said. All I remember is the two main things that both of them said. There was her boyfriend, whatever he was, in the street. He yelled at me because he said, "You really gonna let your daughter come out in the street or some shit?" And my attention of anger was towards him because I wanted to punch him in his face. And then the woman in front of me, I was so thankful for her and just grateful that Arya didn't get hurt. And she gave me, whatever. And then she made a judgment too and said, "Oh, you should really check your door and lock your top lock." And I laughed and I said, she knows how to open a door apparently, and I'm just finding that out. So thank you. And I just walked in, and I was a little upset by both of their comments because, of course, they lack perspective. I mean, no one knows what's going on in here. You just see a child in the street, and if I was in their shoes too, I would be like, "What the fuck? Why is there a 2-year-old or whatever in the fucking street that could potentially get hit by a car?" So I would probably be in that state of mind of not understanding what happened in here, and that's life overall, people. That's life for you in general. Like, everyone has their own individual perspective, and I didn't mean to segue into that, but that's what it's about. But anyway, all that. Was the experience earlier today that as soon as that happened, it was a good 5 minutes of me still dealing with my anxiety, my fear, my anger, my disgust, all these things that were going on in my mind. I had to sit down for a minute and just breathe and just be thankful and grateful that my daughter and all that. I had to think of all the good stuff, that at least she's good and we're good and we're chilling. And then I was able to chill, was able to breathe. And then all of a sudden, this state of mind came out of nowhere. I felt nothing. I felt nothing. And I was talking to my wife all weird and shit. And I was explaining to her what I was feeling. And I tell my wife everything, of course, everything that I can to be able to explain to her. And she grounds me pretty much, and I love her because she keeps me grounded from thinking anything beyond that's woo-woo. But she at least understands my experiences and doesn't she doesn't claim that to be woo-woo, because I don't think it's woo-woo with this shit that I'm talking about. It's experiences. But woo-woo to me is something that I don't know. I can't even say what woo-woo is, because you got people that do crystals and shit, that not sniff crystals, but they use crystals as a way to heal themselves and to get into a deeper state of mind. Whatever they do with the crystals, I don't know shit about that. I'm not even gonna pretend I know. But there's crystal healing, and there's other things of touching healing and all this other shit. That to me would be woo-woo. But to those individuals that are experiencing those things, may be experiencing it. I don't know. I can't really say, because I don't do any of that shit. I stick to what I understand and what holds true to me, and I let myself, like, so to speak, level up to a certain state where I'm like, is this real? Is this right? Does this make sense? All right, let's try to be logical with this. Okay, go ahead. You're good. You're in the clear. So that's how I kind of work my way towards understanding the difference between woo-woo-ness and the shit that's actually happening around me or whatever. The crystals I honestly haven't tried yet, and I don't even think I care to, because what they describe, what crystals do, doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't make a difference to how I'm experiencing shit now. What else? There's a lot of things that people do, and I'm like, I guess. Like, do what you want. Do you. Like, it's your life. Me personally, I like where I'm at. And I may say the same shit to people, and people will probably say the same shit to me. Do what you want. Do what you do. I'm going to stick to me. And that's what people do. And it's funny because I was just talking about the South. So, anyway, this overall does go for everybody, though. You do what works for you. That's all. That's like the best kind of advice you can take from anybody. That's my favorite advice that I took from other people. Is do what works for you. That's what I figured out on my own, of my own little scientific lab of philosophy and all this shit. Do what works for me. I'm gonna do everything that makes sense to me, and I'm gonna try it. Oh, it works. Oh, it doesn't work. Not doing that anymore. Oh, makes sense. I'm gonna go with it. Just like I drink wine to chill. It makes me feel mellow. Makes me feel like there's no thoughts annoying me, like distracting me. Even though a little earlier I was kind of fucked up, but yeah. Whatever I tell myself that works, just maybe what is the word I'm looking for? Maybe bullshit, or it may be something that actually works. Anyway, it works, and that's all that matters, right? Okay, moving on. Pandemic. Or I asked this earlier. I said I hope you guys are doing well. Well, I didn't ask. I said, okay, never mind. That was a statement or whatever. Whatever the fuck that is. God damn it. This whole pandemic thing has everyone, not everyone, whatever the balance is, some people, most people, whatever, has people in general still acting up. It's like I tell my wife, because my wife, she likes to bring this up with how many people are overreacting to this. And I would say, oh, well, then there's also people that are underreacting, or whatever, that are not reacting at all. So I like to play the mediator, where I'm like, I'm in the center. Okay. I like to look at both sides of all sides perspective. Like, just look, people are fucking scared as fuck because either someone in their family is going to die from it, or they're scared because they're ignorant and they don't understand that it doesn't really affect them, but they think it does because they're scared anyway. And then you got people that don't fucking meditate or don't do anything that helps them get by. So they're so focused on the bullshit. So that's everything's a fucking panic. I'm scared. Oh my God, something's going to happen. What are we going to do? We got to buy all the toilet paper. And, we do things acting off our emotions. And it's like, I try to explain to my wife that, there's nothing that we could do to change the perspective of other people other than mention that may change your perspective. But people are going to be so tied up with their thoughts and emotions, and it's just going to carry them and lead them to the actions that they decide to do. And that's what's going on, I think, from my perspective and whatever from this pandemic, is that people are overreacting. People are not reacting, and then there are people reacting. There are people just carrying on about their lives. There are people who run gyms, who have small businesses, who are going through it, whatever, but are still trying to keep it going because they're going to get checks or whatever, unemployment checks if they do that, because they're opening up the small business things. I think I'm not too aware of that, so don't hold me to that and fuck me over, because I'm not good with understanding things that don't really I don't know, I can't say don't affiliate with me, but whatever. Everyone that has that signed up for unemployment is going to get their unemployment checks, and along with their stimulus checks. And the stimulus checks I'm kind of concerned about, because I'm like, how the fuck are they going to get all this money? Where the fuck is it coming from? And what's going to happen to us? We get this check, this $1,200 or whatever check, depending on whatever you're marrying, all that shit. We get this check. Let's say we get this money. Where's it coming from? And do we have to pay it back? And blah, blah, blah. It's like something's weird about it. But I'm like, whatever. I don't know shit. I don't know shit about politics and that much about all that shit. So I'm just gonna, okay, I guess I'm getting a check because I fucking filed my taxes and blah, blah, blah. And whatever. If I can't change something, I'm just gonna have to adapt and learn how to get by if things fuck us over in the future from this. Just like this whole pandemic, this whole COVID-19 situation. If it's going to affect us in a negative way in the future, then what can I do? All I can do is try to be resourceful, try to be resourceful to my own, of course. Provide for my family as much as I can. My wife is the one that's working now. I'm the one that's fucking home all the time now. So what do I do with my time? Whatever. I'm not gonna do all that, but you get my point. Is I am personally going to have to, because I understand that life is life. I also understand that I can't change things that I can't change. So I just need to either grow with it or fucking do what I got to do to figure shit out. That's on me. Whatever the government does or whatever other human beings do, that's on them. I don't control what other people do. I can, whatever. People would say, oh, you have a say in this, then okay, whatever. But I don't do it. So I'm just going to carry on trying to figure out what I'm going to do in my life. It's my decision. It's how you live your life, right? You just live your life by your own decisions. And then, you're either going to get manipulated into doing other things or you're going to get brainwashed, whatever, or whatever happens, it's on you. It's your decision as a human being, the consciousness that you have or the soul that you are, whatever. Okay, I'm not going to get that deep, but I'm going far with the meditation stuff. I'm going to stop saying that. But ultimately, you're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to react the way you're going to react, and I'm just going to react the way I'm going to react, and that's it. That's all we can do. All right. So this global pandemic thing isn't really that, I don't want to say it's not that bad. It's killing people. So that's bad, I guess. But overall, is it bad for all of us? No. It's bad for whatever people that it's affecting in terms of the business aspect of it. Yeah, financially, it's fucking us all different ways with different size dicks or whatever that's fucking us differently. I'm not taking it too hard at the moment. In the future, we'll tell if this is gonna be hard for me, for us, because I was making the most money in this house and now I'm not. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna update next week or next podcast. We're gonna talk about everything and seeing how the changes slowly get worse or better for us or whatever as we go on with this pandemic. So I wanted to talk about stress and social interaction because that is the one thing that I'm going through, so to speak, because now I'm not training in jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Now I'm not working. I am isolated with my family, with just my wife and my daughter. My daughter at the moment, well, my wife is at work. And I'm in this house most of the fucking time. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything other than train at the gym and go to work. And sometimes visit my mother, and that's it. I don't go out anymore like I used to. So my social interaction was perfect the way it was before this pandemic. It was me going to train, as I was also working out physically, mentally, mentally, and I was doing well, like balancing everything out for the most part. Of course, things go out of balance, but I was doing well with what I was doing, and now it's been shifted, of course, where I'm home all the time. I'm either playing a game, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm cleaning. I'm doing whatever to keep myself busy, but ultimately, my social interaction, whatever that is inside of us that we need, there's something going on there. I noticed that it's different, of course. Obviously, it's different because I'm not going to the gym and I'm not doing everything I'm used to doing. But it's an interesting thing so far. It's only been a week, so it's just interesting. It's not affecting me negatively. It's just there's some type of little whatever static, whatever energy, whatever you want to call it, is shifting a little bit, and I'm paying attention to it. It's just funny because I was talking about this. I said, "Oh, I don't need to train now. I'm going to train because I love training, but I don't. I realize that I don't need to do all these things. I'm good. If I meditate, I'm chilling. So now it's gonna be a nice little test for me. So I love this shit personally. I love this. Not a lot of people like this whole experience. Nobody wants to deal with what they're dealing with probably, but me personally, I'm enjoying it. Not to say that I'm enjoying people dying from this. I'm not enjoying the negative side of it. I'm not saying that I want to stay here. I'm saying I am personally experiencing good things from this pandemic. It's a good time to be alive, to be appreciative with this thing. It sounds bad, but when I'm trying, again, I'm not romanticizing or saying that this pandemic is good. I'm glad it happened. Part of me does, honestly, but it's only for the fact that this is a test for humans to see themselves. This is the opportunity for us all to understand something about ourselves deeper. This is the perfect opportunity to not be distracted, but at the same time, this is the perfect opportunity to be even more distracted, if that makes any sense, because you got this Netflix shit that you still got a hold of. You still got the social media. You still got your cell phones. You still got technology and the internet. You got all this distraction that now you're even more inside because you have nothing that you can't do anything else. So I'm self-isolating in the house. So, well, might as well put my VR goggles on because I don't want to see what's going on until I have to. Oh, the news is telling me this. Fuck. So it's like, it's a funny thing that this is a perfect opportunity on one side for people to learn to meditate, learn to work out at home, learn to do things yourself, learn to fucking cook, learn to cook, learn to, be more mindful in general, learn to be more aware of the things that you do in your day, learn to be more aware of the things that you eat, learn to be aware of all this shit. You get to finally spend time with yourself or your fucking family or your loved ones, whatever. But not a lot of people give a fuck about that. Human beings, first of all, we got a habit, right? We got our big ass habit on this side of the of all the treasures that we value. Our technology, our cell phones, whatever, our fucking social media accounts, our Netflix and Hulu's and all that shit that we watch, films. Like, we look at these things, these distractions, as like a way to make us feel good. This wine here, we look at it like, this is the shit. I need this. I need it. It tastes so fucking good. It makes me feel mellow. Like, yeah, it makes me feel mellow. Sure. Liquor, beer, whatever. It makes me feel whatever. Or whatever the fuck else we do to fuck with our conscious minds, to distract ourselves from currently being in the moment with what we're being in. It's like we try to escape all that because we're so used to it. We're raised in that modern society where I'm going to get into that with the intrinsic, where's it at? Intrinsic and extrinsic way of looking at, I don't know. These are words I'm just learning because I'm reading this book, Tribe. We're going to get into that. But what was I talking about? Oh, we're so focused on all this shit that we're not mindful of the beautiful thing that's within us this whole fucking time. Our minds. Like, I love my mind so much, man, and I can't explain it in terms of how I can't explain why I love it. I don't know. It's just I know I love it. It's weird. It's like I the way I understand it now, it makes so much more sense than the way it was before, where I didn't understand it and I was always confused as to who is this? Why am I this way? Why am I thinking these thoughts? Why do I want to kill myself? Why do I want to kill people? Why this? Why that? There's so many things that I didn't understand that I was like, fucking screw that shit. Let me get into, I'm hearing something. I'm like, what is that? Let me get into all these distractions, man. All these materials that I need to live for, man. Oh, man, let me get this job so I can afford more of these materials, man. I need to get that car. I need to get that fucking nice and big house so I can fucking, live for status and all this good shit that I want to do. I might as well just roll into the book because I'm talking about this shit now. But my point with that is that we have the opportunity to focus on the mind, which is, it's within us. It's right there, right here. Well, no, I don't want to even say the mind, because consciousness, I'm learning with meditation is apparently all over and whatever. It could be outside too, who knows, but it gets woo woo. But ultimately, consciousness it's around, and when you're aware of it, it's different. It's a different perspective than you physically putting yourself in the body. Oh, I have hands, and oh, my eyes, and oh, look, oh yeah, look at, oh, phone, oh, distraction, oh. It's for me personally to go within and to understand something deeper within myself is so much more pleasing and appealing and peaceful, whatever you want to call it. So much better. And then even the bad stuff, even the bad emotions, the negative emotions, just social interaction thing that I'm dealing with because I'm lacking it on that side, or I'm eating more bread, so I'm getting chichos again because I'm eating more bread now because I'm like, I might as well get some bread, whatever. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm losing my focus, but the mind, man, this is a perfect opportunity to focus on things inside the house, at home, where things you can pay attention to, your materialistic things, that how much is like in front of you, that damn, I put all this shit for what? The fuck I buy all this shit for? It's crazy. What do I need? It's right here. It's in your body. It's in your mind. It's like in your soul, whatever you want to call it. It's all there. But again, us as being human beings, as soon as this pandemic is over, whenever it's done, people are going to end up going right back to their usual habits of using wine as an excuse to escape reality, or using the game, or whatever, social media or Netflix or Hulu, whatever you want to call it. People are going to use these things to escape from reality because they're afraid. All right, you're digging deep and you're falling for your emotions. You're falling for the illusions of what the consciousness is. How can I explain this? The consciousness is projecting everything for you, and you as a human being or whatever confuses it based on what you see and what you listen to, or what you know and what you hear, whatever. All this shit fucks with you and makes you think otherwise, that, oh, this wine, I need it. I need that wine to do what I gotta do because I can't get by. I can't, my anxiety, my depression, whatever, all these things, you start to let that shit become a hold of you. And there was a fucking post that I shared earlier, and it was a philosophical quote, I think, from Marcus Aurelius, and I forget what it was, but it was basically a poisoned. I'm making my own words. A poisoned mind or an affected mind is worse than the plague. If that makes any sense. So then I looked at it as like, so life versus character. People, when you look at something that takes your life, like the plague, like whatever, any kind of plague, it takes your life. Like, yeah, that's fucked up, man. All right. But a poisoned mind or an infected mind, you look at that, think about that for a second. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, wait, what do you mean a plague is worse? Because it's killing more people. Like the infected mind is not really infected. It's not affecting a million minds, only one person. But then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. And then I just thought a little deeper that, one infected mind could potentially infect many other minds, or infect and make their own lives miserable. So do you prefer a life worth living, and you don't have an affected mind, you have a healthy mind and you're chilling, and then suddenly you die? Do you prefer that, or do you prefer everlasting life? You live to your 80, but your whole life was miserable because your mind was infected, full of anxiety and fear and anger and hate and all these fucking things that make you want to fucking kill people or make you want to hurt yourself for the rest of your life. What do you fucking prefer? I would say I prefer to die fast and live a better life or whatever than to live long and fucking have a horrible life. What is the point of living if you're living a horrible life? What's the point of that? Mentally speaking. I wanted to make a point with that because it goes, I think that relates to the situation perfectly, where the mind is important. Moving on. Tribe. So I'm reading this book. That I kept confusing. It's called Tribe, on Homecoming and Belonging by Sebastian Junger. I need to finish this book. I didn't finish it. I'm only on fucking page 25. I'm a slow fucking reader. And it's because I have to go back and make sure I know what the fuck I'm talking about. My comprehension is whatever. Sucks. Who knows? But My reading is, I can read, but my comprehension is like blah blah blah. I need to go back and comprehend that again. Make sure I understand what the fuck I'm reading here. So I don't like to rush. I also forget shit. So I had to write notes in terms of what the fuck, the first fucking, not all 25 pages, but around the first 25 pages, what I understood so far, what I took from it more so. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So tribe. I keep calling it tribal in all my other podcast episodes and all in my podcast with my wife and whatever. I always call it tribal and shit. So it's just funny now. I'm fucking stupid. But anyway, the first few pages, I wrote some notes that talks about suicide, the tribal life, of course, how Indian lives or tribal lives are better than Western society. It also talks about the determination theory and a couple other things that I wrote down. I'm just going to go over them, though. So in regards to suicide, Sebastian Junger, from what I understand, is trying to make a claim, or not make a claim, but he's just talking about how people in modern society tend to be more suicidal because we have a nature of wanting to live intrinsic lives, but extrinsically, we live, not all of us, but a lot of people live their lives based on intrinsic and extrinsic. I can't even say these fucking words. So extrinsic, let me try to explain these two words because I still suck at understanding how to use them. But intrinsic, or even say them. Intrinsic is feeling competent, feeling authentic, and being connected with other people. So that's living an intrinsic life. And you want to be competent in what you do. Of course, I know I do. I want to be competent. I know I want to feel authentic. I want to be authentic to what I'm talking about. I don't want to be fake. What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean, I argue with this whole intrinsic and extrinsic because there are sociopaths and narcissistic motherfuckers out there that beg to differ with these intrinsic values, whatever. But anyway, yeah, you wanna feel competent, you wanna feel authentic, and you wanna feel connected. And the third one I'm struggling with, feeling connected with other people, because I think people, I don't know, I feel like people don't trust me because they don't understand my situation. I feel like people don't understand who I am, what I'm doing, because I explained earlier, I'm all over the fucking place. I like to do a lot of things. I like to be silly and I like to be serious. I like to talk about what I'm reading and I like to talk about life and philosophy and whatever, and I like to fucking talk shit about life and whatever. I like to do both. It's weird. It's weird how I am, but I am what I am. And that's what I say I am. If it wasn't, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to continue. Sorry. All right. So anyway, intrinsic is that all those things. Competent, feeling authentic, and connected. And yeah, I'm struggling with connected part because whatever. I can't do anything about that. Ultimately, I understand that. I know that I have a connection with my daughter at least. I have a connection with my wife and my two other kids, my oldest daughter and my son. I'm thankful for that at least. Everyone else, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air with who I'm connected with and who I'm not. Some people I am, and sometimes it's not. It's like it's so. But I don't have control over how connected I am with other people. I just know fully I am connected with my daughter for sure, 100%, and connected with my wife currently because I can feel it. I can understand, like the way our connection and the way we are is different than most people. But that's besides the fucking point. And I'm connected with myself, of course. So that's all I need. I think my mind or whatever it is, my body, whatever, my human body wants to connect with others, and that's up to other people to want to do that with me. Extrinsic, money, status, and beauty. We all know what the fuck we all look for naturally when we're not mindful about our lives. A lot of us are about money, status, and beauty. I mean, what did I do when I started off this podcast? I did it because I wanted to try it out, see what happens, whatever. And then what ended up happening was the ego or whatever was starting to take over a little bit, or try to, and say, oh, you can make money from this? Oh my God, imagine you making money. You should look into how you can make money off of it. Drifted me away from the whole point of me doing this fucking podcast was in the beginning, and still is, because I'm recording this for my fucking kids in case I may pass away. They may be able to listen to all this shit. That was what this is all about. Or the other thing was, maybe I can reach out to other people who are the same way and would love to fucking hear this shit. Me, I wanted to hear shit like this, but it was hard for me to fucking hear shit like this. Whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't really do anything about it. But anyway, that was, and there was a third one. I forget. My brain just went over there. But yeah. Money came afterwards, where it was like, oh, you can make money from this? And it started to distract me from what my original plan was. And it's like, I have to get rid of that shit, because fuck you, motherfucker. No. If I make money from this, good, okay, cool. But I'm not worrying about that right now. This is a project that I love and cherish so much, just like everything else that I do, creatively speaking. So I'm not going to let money or other shit ruin it. So anyway. Extrinsic, again, money, status, and beauty. That's another thing that deals with this, the status, my status here right now. Who am I? You know, who am I to people? What am I? What am I to you listening? Do I really matter, or are you just listening? I don't know. Are you listening because you're trying to give me a chance, or like, there's so many different people out there that are listening for the first time, or listening since the beginning, whatever. But who knows who's listening, who knows what. All I care about is that if it's affecting someone, and even if I don't know, fuck it, as long as it's working, as long as it's working out. Okay. The status, though, this whole status thing comes out of nowhere. It's the same thing that applies to money. You know, oh, I could become famous from this I can get status. I can become famous. Oh my God. It gets in your fucking way. Like, move over there. And you can stay over there. I'm going to look at you like, shut up. All right, sir? Okay, moving on. I don't know what that was. Beauty. It's another thing a lot of people do, is focus on their beauty, whether you're a dude or girl, whatever. You're going to look at their body, and you're going to fantasize about, oh, I want a better body. I want to look better and sexy for the ladies or my men, whatever. Like, the chicks fucking wearing a shit ton of pounds of makeup on their face, looking like fucking cake and ice cream and shit. Like, what are you doing? But that's them. That's what they want to do. It's their decision to fall for the extrinsic values of life, to worry about beauty, to make themselves feel beautiful. I'm beautiful inside and outside. There's a lot of people that I see that it's like, you don't have to wear makeup, man, but hey, you do what you want. You know, my wife wears makeup, and that's on her. She wants to wear makeup, it's fine. And she does, you know, the appearance of her beauty does increase, of course, because of her makeup, sure. But that's not what I care about. You know, I don't care about that. I just know, I'm aware if that's what it is. But anyway, extrinsic, man. A lot of us, that's how we live our lives, man. And that's how I think a lot of people are struggling right now, because they're not mindful of the money, status, and beauty, extrinsic values of life. And that's what causes people to fall for shit where they try to get beauty and sell it. They try to get status and make money out of it. They try to get money, make more money out of it, and become so depressed because we're not looking at the finer things in life. Who knows if this is actually true or not, but from what makes sense to me is that money, status, and beauty doesn't do shit for me. Yeah, it does. Yeah, somewhat, you know. Yeah, it does affect me. But what I'm saying is that I don't need that shit, the top thing and the top status and the top money, $1 million, $1 billion, $100,000. Sure, I would like $80,000 at least from my wife and I so that we can make a better living, but that's because we know we can make a better living. But besides the point. This book is talking about that in terms of how modern society falls for the extrinsic thing, because modern, it says, I wrote it down here in a note. Modern society seems to emphasize extrinsic values over intrinsic, and there's a reason for that, people. It's because we're not mindful. We're not meditating, or we're not doing anything to be mindful or aware of what we're doing. Meditation, again, like I said, helps you unlock the doors of mindfulness, helps you unlock the doors of awareness better. There's so many things that it can unlock for you, but that's up to you. If you can do it, if you can be mindful without meditating, hey, that's a superpower. Good for you. Again, just be mindful. And if you're not after money, status, and beauty, then, and if you're after intrinsic values, like you want to feel competent, feel authentic and connected, then whatever. But again, these are all overall, like I like to always go back to, these are all fucking feelings. These are all emotions. These are all thoughts. So when you push it away a little bit, you realize that, oh, I'm a human being. This activity shit going on. Extrinsic, intrinsic. It's all human beings. It's nature. It's part of it. And I just can decide to be mindful of it now. Anyway, the more assimilated into American society, the more depression. Oh, I guess I was talking about extrinsic values. The more assimilated, I can't even say the fucking word. The more people are focused with extrinsic values, the more society becomes depressed. And so I'm gonna wrap that up because I can go on about this tribe book. I'm still only 25 pages in out of 165 I think there is. It talks about Western society versus tribal society, how they both differentiate. How Western is all about comfort and protected from hardship, and how tribal is all about being free, a community, self-determination theory, which what I wanted to talk about next. And that is the 3 basic things to be content. And that is intrinsic shit. And I guess that's what I was talking about. But yeah, this whole pandemic thing, going to that, shows you, if you give yourself a little perspective, it shows you that a lot of people who have extrinsic values in their life are struggling, are going to be depressed, or are going to have anxiety, or are going to be this and that. For those people that have the intrinsic values, guess what? They also may feel the same thing. They may not feel competent. They may not feel authentic. They may not feel connected. So what does this teach us all? We're not perfect, of course. That's the end of the day, but there's something about life that we should take a look at, and that's what I wanted to paint with this overall episode, was that all this shit, man, is interesting to me, and that's why I said the mind, when you focus on that, you have a different perspective, and now you're able to analyze things. And I'm slowly getting there to understanding more about whatever it is that I'm understanding, and I'm just doing me. But I wanted to share all this, again, because I really value whoever's listening, and I also value myself, and I also value my kids and my wife, and I want to put this out there for anybody. Doesn't matter who. These may be weird and wacky thoughts to a lot of people, but I don't give a shit. It's fucking working for me. I'm happy and content, and whatever the word is, there's other things that I feel that it's not like, again, I can't explain it because I want to say it's positive, but I don't like that word positive. It's another word or pattern that we say. Everything's positive, and I don't like that because not everything's positive. That makes sense, because my life isn't positive, always just only positive. I go through negative things. Like right now, I got some negative shit going on, you know? The feeling, like I said, my daughter being outside in the middle of the fucking street, that was a negative experience. So not everything's perfect. I don't have a job right now, and I have to wait until the shit rolls over. So then maybe I can get my job back. Things may go back to normal, whatever normal. I can begin working again. But right now, is this bad? I don't know. I'm not suffering that much right now, so far. Because we still have money carried over I can provide for my family still. My wife is still working, so things aren't bad. But for everyone, again, for those of you that are looking at your life and it's bad for you, I just would like to invite you to be mindful of what is bad about your life right now. Write all that shit down, whatever you want to do to understand it, and why is it bad? What is it that you're going through right now? What is it that you're feeling inside? Is it the anxiety? Is it the fear? Is it the pain? Is it? Do you have the coronavirus? All these things are interesting things you should take advantage and be mindful of, and take a look at this current COVID-19 slash fucking Wu virus, whatever the fuck they're calling it. They're calling all these different fucking viruses, the Chinese virus. Like we're so silly. Human beings are so silly. We're all human. This is a virus. You want to call it a virus? Let's call it a virus. It's just a virus. You want to be specific, I guess. COVID-19. You don't have, or whatever it's scientifically named, but naming it after where it originated from, I don't see any point of that. It's like, okay, cool. It's from China. It's the virus that originated from bats in China, from the wet markets, I guess. But, whatever makes people happy. I think I'm going to wrap this up. Reached my hour of my little solo cast. I usually try to keep it within the hour because that's all I want to... I can't explain it, but I don't want to, I'm trying to be mindful of how much time I put into this. So an hour is good enough. Okay, now I got other things I got to do and shit. Like I need to work out. I need to work out now and play the game. I've been playing fucking Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. What's it called? Is it called? Yeah, Call of Duty Warzone. Fucking fantastic game. I'm addicted and I'm aware of it, mindful of the addiction of me being addicted to Call of Duty. So I'm just enjoying it for the moment. And as I'm addicted to Rocket League still. And again, these are valuable games to me, and I'm happy that they exist. Call of Duty Warzone is the shit, son. I love battle royale games, but I remember when I was playing Fortnite, I was like, come on, Fortnite, come on. I don't like this cartoony shit. I want to play something else, something more realistic, like Call of Duty. It's semi. I don't want to say realistic, but it's better than Battlegrounds. It's better than, to me, Fortnite. It's better than all the games that are out there right now, battle royale style. Of course, you have the VR ones I haven't played yet, but that's beside the point. We're not going to talk about games too much. That's what I'm doing right now with my time. I'm fucking keeping myself active. I'm keeping myself healthy for the most part. I'm still meditating. I'm being mindful and aware of all these different emotions and feelings that I'm getting. I'm still trying to be productive. I'm coding more now because I have more time in the morning. So I'm taking advantage of that so I can code. Even though I've been fucking up because I've been waking up at 10:30 because I'm sleeping late, because I'm sleeping at 4 o'clock because of Call of Duty, basically. It's fucking me up. So there's no excuses. I need to get myself on check and stop waking up at 10:30 so I can have more time to code in the morning. And other things that I have planned for myself. I have a lot of productivity going on, and I love it. I'm on TikTok now, fucking around with this Jason idea I have with the COVID-19 stuff. Sister Gina hasn't been around, but I may just bring her back into this house so she can have fun doing whatever the fuck she wants to do with COVID-19. I'm doing more dead pigeon stuff with my wife. There's more content that I want to provide. There's other ideas that we have in mind that we haven't done yet. We have to make time for so we can do it because they're fucking hilarious to me. As another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm not going to have that much time to talk about in terms of I've been putting more content out there on my Dead Pigeon comedy page on Instagram. And it's just been funny because, people are either going to laugh at it or people are not going to like it. And I don't know who doesn't like it, but when I don't get likes, that's that dopamine shit. And that's the shit that I try to separate myself and be mindful of. When I don't get likes for something, I now tell myself, just look at it. Okay. This is either because people are not seeing it, or because people just don't like it. Do you like it though? So who gives a fuck? Keep doing it. Keep fucking doing it. If you're trying to make people laugh, okay, understand why people aren't laughing at it. Maybe it's because it's too offensive. Maybe you went too far. I don't give a fuck. I'm either gonna learn. I'm gonna learn what I'm doing. I'm not a comedian or whatever. I'm a comedian. Who cares? Whether I'm a comedian or not, don't fucking care. I'm not a stand-up comedian because I don't tell jokes on stage, but I'm working my way to do that, by the way. I'm still trying to... After this is over, hopefully I can do stand-up finally. That's besides the point. Right now I'm focused on doing productive things that my mind is leading me to and letting it happen as it goes. And with that being said, I hope you guys value your life and value your motherfucking time. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, both of them if you want, whatever. You can follow my Instagram page, William Knows Nothing. I have these shirts now. I'm not selling them or anything, but I made a shirt because I wanted to have my logo on a shirt. It's pretty cool. I love that, how it came out. I have the back here too. Let me see if I can get up and show it. I don't think I can do it because I'm going to look stupid. Yeah, I'm going to look stupid. Let's see if I can do like, oh, there it is. Oh, a little hashtags there, Valley Life, Valley Time with myself, of course, my character, logo, whatever, of me meditating. That red dot in between in his head is there's a little story to that, but that's besides the point. I love this shirt. I love the way it came out, and I'm happy. And maybe one day if I get a fan base or whatever, who knows if that happens. But if I do, I'll fucking be happy to sell these shirts, man. These I love it. I'm a huge graphic tee person, and I love how these came out. I was like, because I designed it myself, and I don't know, I'm prideful. I'm like excited about my work, my little creative endeavors. Usually I end this podcast by now, so sorry. You guys take it easy. If you need any kind of fucking help with meditation, feel free to definitely send me an email at williamknowsnothing@gmail.com, or just follow my Instagram page. You could DM me. I'll answer any of your questions that you have, whatever. Don't really care. I don't mind being there for people as long as I have time for it, of course. But yeah, or just do you, right? Peace and love, whatever that is. Peace.